creepy TikToks that'll make you question reality. Let's roll.
You see, everyone's talking about these drones, and here's something that nobody wants to talk about. You see, these are drones. They're United States military drones. But the question is not about the drones. Everyone's focusing on this, and they keep using this word in media. The question is what they're looking for, and I'm about to tell you. What they're looking for is these plasmoids, okay? These are living things. These are the fourth state of matter. But they call them plasmoids, and the Bible calls them angels. You see, this entire chapter in Ezekiel chapter 10 tells you what these plasmoids are. They're thorns angels. They are angels warning us about the end times. The end is here. I don't care what anyone says. The media is not going to tell you this. Repent and get back to Jesus Christ, because that's the only way that you're going to have a possibility of being safe. Don't let the media scare you. Turn to Jesus. Follow me, the Black Rebel, for more.
Yeah, there's two types. We saw a video. We definitely saw a video where we saw, I would say, man-made drone went up to unidentified and it just zapped it out of the sky and fell. Do you remember? If you haven't seen that, go back. It's on a few videos back. I couldn't tell you where because I do so many videos, but it's there. We see it and it is legitimate. There's two types. One approaches the other. And there's only one winner, isn't there? There's only going to be one winner, peeps.
We've seen 40 of them flying in formation. They've got bases all over the world now, you know. They've been coming here ever since 1946, when the scientists first started bouncing radar beams off of the moon. And they have been living and working among us in vast quantities ever since. The government knows all about them.
What are you talking, man?
They are people just like us, from within our own solar system, except that their society is more highly evolved. I mean, they don't have no wars, they got no monetary system, they don't have any leaders, because, I mean, each man is a leader. Because of their technology, they are able to feed, clothe, house, and transport themselves equally and with no effort.
I mean, if they're so smart, why don't they just reveal themselves to us, huh, and get it over with?
It would be a devastating blow to our antiquated systems. Now,
well, that must be where I'm getting this information fed into my head, because that's exactly what I've been saying. Like, you don't need war and you don't need money. Take that out of the world and we've got a great world, a brilliant world. And it literally just said it there, which I thought was quite interesting. But yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Another human civilization out of our reach that we don't know about because we've been blocked off by our world. Whatever direction, whether it's down or just to the other side of the big wall. Maybe not, I don't know. But I'm still really ill. Like, really ill, peeps. I don't know what's going on. I've never been so ill in my life. I've told you this. I'm being hit from all sides, but life goes on.
So much has happened in the past 24 hours, it's insane. Police revealed that yesterday's school shooter is a 15-year-old girl, and that they are aware of a possible 6-page manifesto that is now circulating online. Russia's top general in charge of the country's nuclear, biological, and chemical protection troops was assassinated after a bomb hidden in an electric scooter blew up. The Ukrainian intelligence agency claims that they are behind the hit. Trump had his first press conference since winning the election and said that he's got a soft spot for TikTok when being asked what he's going to do about the ban. He also addressed the drones, saying that something strange is going on and that the government knows exactly what they are. Then, only hours later, the FBI, DOD, FAA, and DHS released a joint statement saying that there's nothing anomalous about these drones and that they are simply a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircrafts, helicopters, and stars mistakenly reported for drones. The French island of Mayotte was hit with the worst storm in nearly a century, ending the lives of hundreds of people and destroying over 100,000 homes. Ukraine said that North Koreans took heavy casualties over the weekend. A 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit Vanuatu, triggering landslides, crushing cars and destroying homes. And a senior Palestinian official said that the ceasefire between Gaza and Israel is in the decisive and final phase. Israel's defense minister also said that an agreement is closer than ever.
Well, I don't think he missed anything. But, I mean, wow. What an absolutely bonkers world we live in, people.
Very early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose. The volume of sightings, weird objects in the sky, it's off the charts. I am swamped by people sending me videos from all over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. We are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. There's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous. I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. A reckoning is coming.
Well, I don't know if 2024 would be seen as calm. It's been bonkers. Before the storm, maybe. That would work better. But yeah, I had an experience actually where I'm really ill at the moment, people. I don't know how I'm able to do these videos somehow because I've taken loads of drugs, but I am bedbound ill. So I was in bed all day yesterday and all night. And then I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. I looked out my window, and the star just like went whoosh, real big, and then whoosh, disappeared, like really weird, randomly. And then I just kept looking, so I was sort of in and out. And then the second time I looked, it was about the 10th or 11th time I looked because it was over like a 2-hour period. But it was the last time I looked, and then I saw one of the moving stars. I was like, oh, there it is. He just sort of went moving along, which is pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys have ever had a Mickey Mouse cup. You have a cup that has stuff written on the inside. A Mickey Mouse cup specifically has Mickey written on the inside. And when you're drinking liquid, you can see the reflection on the surface of the liquid. And the reflection actually says wicked.
You think that was premeditated?
Yes.
You think that's why Walt named his infamous character Mickey?
Yes.
Did it catch you off guard?
No, I had always known in my gully that Mickey was wicked, just filthy. You can actually see Mickey in a factory in one of his episodes where he's making Swiss cheese. And basically what he's doing is there's a conveyor belt and he's taking each one of these blocks of cheese and he's putting it up to his area 1 and poking a hole through the cheese with it. So he's actually going like this to the cheese.
And he's making the Swiss.
Yeah, he's making holes in the cheese with his mouse.
Unbelievable. Making holes in his cheese with his, you know what I mean? That's a good film. It don't surprise me. Don't surprise me.
Well, this is concerning. An Australian lab has misplaced over 300 deadly virus samples. And by misplaced, they mean lost. So what makes this worse is that reports say that the breach, which originally happened back in 2021, wasn't even noticed until August 2023 and is only just now being made public. These are some of the names of the lost viruses, and they are all carried by bats and rats and can kill humans. Do not panic, because officials say that there is no immediate risk because these viruses will become non-infectious pretty quickly outside low temperature freezers. But at the same time, it's kind of not even the point, because I want to know how it's even possible to misplace deadly viruses in the first place. Officials say they have no idea, but an investigation is being launched.
Oh dear. That does not sound good.
I'm telling you, they're not moving. They're staying stationary. They're hovering.
They kind of look wide too.
Look at the lights changing.
It is moving.
No, it's not.
It looks like it.
Yeah, but they're not moving. That's an airplane. Hang on.
Which one? The one closest to the Capitol building?
Hang on, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's an airplane.
But the one in the middle,
that's an airplane. You can see it moving.
Yeah.
The one to the right, or over here.
The one behind the Capitol building is not an airplane.
Or over here. That's an airplane. Okay.
Yeah, over there is, but look at that one.
And I'm saying, like, when you look to the left of the Capitol,
that one.
Those are not moving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They're here.
Can we go back in the car. Oh, God.
They're here, Ella.
Okay. Heck.
That looked massive. That's over Washington, D.C. It was like a massive triangular plasmoid type thing. That is weird, but it don't feel weird anymore because we've seen so much of them. Like, are they just going to come out? Yeah, it's time. We are here. But yeah. Comment section says nobody talking about Luigi anymore. No.
In the last 48 hours, I have stumbled across the world's deepest, darkest secret, to the point where I am actually legitimately feeling like this is the only thing that anybody should be talking about. And yet, from what I can see, nobody is. 3 months ago, I created this TikTok account. I made it to talk about AI because I was working on AI at my job and found the topic interesting, liked talking about it with friends, and wanted to start making content. That's pretty much it. To make sure I have enough stuff to talk about in these videos, I'll sometimes read research papers. This weekend I read a research paper called Situational Awareness by Leopold Aschenbrenner. Aschenbrenner worked on the superalignment team at OpenAI, and if you've never heard of superalignment, you are absolutely not alone. Paper essentially outlines how, with almost 100% certainty, in the next 10 years, likely before the year 2030, at the current pace of AI advancements, we are going to create a superintelligence that is so far beyond what we can possibly understand or comprehend as humans that it will be completely outside of the realm of us to be able to control. I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a sci-fi movie, except it's not, because this one is actually very, very real and it's based in science. The word for this is artificial superintelligence, not artificial general intelligence. AGI is great. ASI, super spooky. So for that reason, I'm going to be starting a series on this page. The next several videos that I post are all going to be about explaining this topic of ASI in a non-pretentious, non-patronizing way. How do we know for sure that it's coming? Why do experts believe that it'll be here before my 35th birthday? What will it look like when it's here? And what the are we supposed to do about it? If you feel compelled to be a part of this journey as well, hit follow and let's go on it together.
Shizzle manizzle. Artificial superintelligence. That's game over. Wah, wah, wah. That ain't good. But you know it's coming. It's obvious. It's already here, probably. It's probably what runs the world. That's exactly what I picture artificial superintelligence to look like. Just this massive black eyeball.
So you expect me to believe that this fucking guy was responsible for killing the CEO of United Healthcare? That guy's name is Luigi Manone, and police are reportedly holding him in custody. But this entire situation surrounding Luigi is really interesting. Do you know why? Luigi was actually arrested on a gun charge after being picked up while eating at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And he had multiple fake IDs and a gun with a suppressor. That's according to officials. But he was also in possession of a certain document. A document railing against the healthcare industry, saying some really interesting things. And according to some reports, Luigi had some ill will towards corporate America, with two quotes that I want to specifically mention that were in the document. One stating that these parasites in quotations had it coming. The other saying that I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. Now I'll get to the most interesting part here in a second, but what I really want to ask right now is why the fuck would he have something like that in his backpack? Especially if he were to be responsible for that shooting. But get this right, a partial fingerprint and DNA that was actually recovered during the search have reportedly so far not yielded any matches. That is when compared against law enforcement databases. And the fingerprint was actually recovered from a purported burner phone, thought to actually belong to the suspect. But the DNA is from a water bottle and an energy bar wrapper that supposedly the suspect is said to have bought. But get this right, the NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney later said that the gun was in quotations ghost gun, meaning it is more difficult to tie to past crimes. But apparently police will now see if the ballistics match the shell casings that were found at the scene. You know, the infamous shell casings that had engravings on them saying deny, defend, depose. Somebody needs to write a book on this shit. But do I believe that this Luigi guy was responsible? I don't know, you tell me.
Luigi Manone? There's a crazy theory about his Twitter header.
What is it?
Oh my god, yo, get that shit ready. So this is what his Twitter header looks like.
Yeah.
So it's 3 pictures. Everyone's saying like, okay, it's normal when you look at it. Cause first picture on the right is like a thirst trap of him like vacationing. second picture is him like it's surgery, right? And it kind of relates to the whole case because
the healthcare.
He probably put this there because he didn't get healthcare from his parents and like he had to pay for his own. But the last picture,
It's a Pokemon.
is a Pokemon. So you're like, okay, he likes Pokemon, right? This Pokemon is named Breloom.
Yeah.
And on the Pokédex, his number, Breloom's Pokédex number is 286.
Okay.
I swear to God, this is not a reach. In the Bible, if you go to Psalms 286, this is the Bible quote. Watch.
What does it say?
Watch. And it relates directly to the case. Read it.
Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways.
He shot the CEO.
Numerology 286, eh? What's going on with that? Maybe I need to do a deep dive on the 286. But there's quite a few different things, I think, on that. There was that, the Pokemon, he did 286 posts. There were some other things which went up to 286, and there was also not the Bible, but also something to do with a denial in health insurance was in clause 286. Very strange circumstances going on over there. And I mean, if you look at the picture of the guy who was there and him, they don't really look alike.
There was some kind of cataclysm, whatever you call it, the mud flood, call it whatever you want to, but like there's physical evidence of buried things everywhere. So there's parts of buildings are buried, but then you find out like full buildings are buried. Like literally, I said that you get into like the stuff like we're talking about, like how I was, kind of got on this subject was I saw this video about this woman talking about underground Seattle. And some people will say, oh yeah, well, they have underground parts of certain cities. But okay, my fallback on a lot of this stuff is, yeah, but where does that fit in the timeline? That I said, I think that the building of certain cities on the West Coast are already suspect based on how short of timeline all this stuff happened. But now you're doubling down by saying they built an older city and it's under the ground, and then the current city that's already suspect is built on top of this other one. I'm thinking like, we're talking about like supposedly miners, right? Going out there looking for gold. They not only built one city, but they built another city under that. And when did they do that?
Yes. None of it makes sense. It is all like just bonkers. It don't add up.
You saw those drones in New Jersey? They're saying that they're yours. Or one of y'all's. I don't know how many of y'all there are, but they're blaming it on you guys.
Those do not belong to us. They are a consequence of your human Department of Defense's Replicator initiative.
Who thought of that name? It's not a good name.
Your human army electro-optics researchers publicly stated that they were surveying the industry for companies able to design a multispectral sensor from existing products for persistent surveillance to identify humans walking and vehicles at mid to long ranges.
Surveillance?
Yes.
What do you mean persistent surveillance?
They have been in collaboration with a number of companies, but a key one is named Kratos.
So it's like a Frankenstein drone?
It was stated in 2018, human space-time.
It's like a transformer drone.
Transformation into what?
It's a movie. It's a movie. We'll watch it later. But it's not yours. It's not like your stuff.
No.
They're not like using your stuff in their stuff.
Not our technologies. They have integrated technologies from a diverse array of human unmanned surveillance aircrafts, including one called Scan Eagle and UTAP-22 Mako.
This is crazy. That explains why they just don't know what's going on. But that Chinese weather balloon, spy balloon thing, they brought it down in like days.
Well, the fusion has resulted in a classified aircraft.
If this is just a mixture of drones and a plane-looking drone, what would make it classified?
It is very short of extraordinary.
Unless it's like looking into your house, zooming into your face in your car.
Oh, it's highly likely.
That would be impeding on everyone's privacy, basically.
It is outfitted with Kratos X-ray photoelectron spectrometer technology, 2D technology, and nanotechnology. Very basic technology. It also hums. Still. And it only has a maximum endurance of 3 human hours.
That's not surprising at all, but it's been years in the making.
This has transpired as a result of your human army's contracting command issuing a notice on behalf of the Human Product Management Force Protection System segment of your human army's Night Vision and Electronic Sensors Directorate.
Oh,
This explains why the majority of humans predominantly observe these craft only after your hydrogen-helium star's view has been obscured due to the rotation of your planet.
Oh my... There's a U.S. Naval Air Engineering Center right there.
Ours do not produce such unsettling, atrocious, disconcerting levels of noise. I find it highly unsettling.
I don't think we should be talking about this right now.
One does find it very funny. But yeah, comes up with a very good point in Berlin. Like, take out all the mumbo jumbo, which I didn't quite get, but I got the point, really, what they were saying. The Chinese spy balloons. Boom! Sorted straight away. No problem with that, right? But these drones going on for weeks. What are they? Oh, no. They haven't even attempted to do anything. Because they know y'all.
Does anyone else feel like time is getting faster? Seriously, every day, week, month is just flying by lately, and something just doesn't feel normal about it. And trust me, you're not the only one. Everyone feels it. Well, as it turns out, the universe might be dying. Or it already ended, and the Mayans were right this entire time. Like, didn't the 2020s just start, and we're already halfway through the decade? You've probably seen this years of your life chart that explains why time feels to get faster as we age, showing you how each year that goes by becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of your total life lived so far, which is why the years feel like they go by quicker as we get older, but I'm not talking about that. I mean, objective time itself, by the hour, seems like it's faster than it used to be. It could be the 2020 effect, from which many people report that days, weeks, and months since 2020 seem like they're passing by at an alarming rate. Psychologists coined the term and proposed that the 2020 lockdowns caused a major disruption in our normal routines, making every day feel the same, distorting our sense of time. During the lockdowns, time sort of stood still. We basically did nothing for a whole year, and then we're still heavily restricted for another year after that. When we do the same thing every day in confined environments, we lose our sense of time. But then, as things returned to normal and social interactions, vacations, work, the regular flow of life came back, comparing this active lifestyle to the past 2 years of doing nothing, life started to feel as if it was moving at lightning speed, and time sped up with it. But no, this is different. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm talking about. Everyone feels it. It has to be something more than that. What if the world, the entire universe actually, is ending? There are many scientifically backed theories that propose how the universe may end, one of which is called the Big Crunch. It's sort of just the opposite of the Big Bang, which was a huge explosion that created the entire universe. All matter, galaxies, black holes, stars, and planets that we have today. Scientists have observed that the universe itself is actually continually expanding out in every direction faster than the speed of light ever since. This is because of dark energy, the dominant force that causes this expansion, and we don't exactly know how it works. The Big Crunch hypothesizes that this expansion will eventually lose its momentum, slow down, and possibly even stop. If this happens, the force of gravity of all the objects inside this enormous universe would take over dark energy as the dominant force in play. And what does gravity do? Brings everything back to the center. All objects in the universe would slowly collide inwards towards each other, bringing the edge of the universe itself in with them. The entire universe gets smaller and denser, which makes it really hot and eventually collapses back to its singular point of infinite density that was the start of the Big Bang, which may even trigger a new Big Bang, and the universe would start all over again in an infinite cycle of big bangs and big crunches that goes on forever. And we're just currently living in one of those cycles. Now, the theory here is, since space and time are directly related, as per Einstein, when the fabric of space gets smaller, so does time. Imagine the entire timeline of the universe as a spring, and passing down the spring is us passing through time. As space collapses, that timeline spring, in theory, condenses as well, making the journey of passing down the spring shorter and quicker. So whereas before, getting from, say, day 1 to day 2 on the timeline of the universe took 1 unit of perceived time, now experiencing that same segment of time from day 1 to 2 only takes 0.9 units of perceived time, resulting in the same segment of time feeling like it goes by quicker. Do you follow me here? Just like in video editing, when you bring a clip into your timeline and increase the speed by 10%, it gets shorter. So now, what if the Big Crunch has already started, and we're experiencing that slight bit of condensed time as the universe is slowly starting to shrink? Because, I mean, it would be slow at first. Time's not going to start accelerating significantly until the universe is much smaller in a couple 100 million years or whatever, where years will potentially go by in a matter of hours. What if we're in that initial stage of time shrinkage, where the length of a year year feels just a little faster than what a year used to feel like. Cause a year was actually supposed to end it all just a little over a decade ago, 2012. For anyone that remembers, there was a huge doomsday prophecy going around in the years leading up to 2012 based on the Mayan calendar. Now the Mayans, they were pretty damn smart. Their empire lasted for around 3,000 years, possibly longer, until they collapsed around 900 AD. The Maya were well known for their advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and time. They developed some of the most intricate timekeeping methods that we know as the Mayan calendar. Well, calendars, actually. The Mayans had around 20 calendars, a lot of which we don't even fully understand yet. But one of their most important ones was the long count calendar, which is different from any other ancient culture's calendar in the world. Rather than basing it off the solar cycles of us going around the sun, they broke it down into a series of day-night cycles since the last creation. The largest of these cycles was a Baktun, which was around 394 years. And 13 Baktuns would make a complete age, where everything would reset back to zero. They believed they were living in the fourth age, which started in August 3114 BC. 13 Baktuns after that gives us December 21st, 2012, the end of that age, which many people thought would mark the end of the world. But what if, through some divine knowledge of the Mayans, that just marked the end of the universe expanding? And it's been collapsing ever since, as per the Big Crunch, slowly but surely speeding time up with it. Because a lot of people claim things haven't really been the same since 2012, almost like we switched timelines. Coincidentally, in that exact same year, scientists in Switzerland apparently opened a black hole using the Large Hadron Collider, aka the Big Bang Machine, where particles are accelerated close to the speed of light in a 27-kilometer loop and smashed into each other. Working on experiments meant to recreate the very first moments of the universe, CERN, the organization leading the research, discovered a new particle known as the Higgs boson, aka the God particle, in 2012. The Higgs boson is a special type of particle that we can't exactly interact with, but permeates the entire fabric of space and basically allows matter to exist. It's complicated, I know, which many scientists actually warned the creation of this particle may form a black hole that would consume the Earth and our entire solar system in a split second. Well, it actually might have already done that, and reality as we knew it ended in 2012. It happened so fast that none of us could notice, and we're currently living inside that black hole and are experiencing the time dilation effects of its immense gravity, or we just switched to a completely different timeline. Because if you look at it, that's also around the same time that people started having collective memories about things that never happened, known as the Mandela effect. You know, when a large group of people recall something being different than what it really was. Popular ones like the Berenstain Bears, Jif Peanut Butter, the Monopoly Man never had a monocle, the cornucopia in Fruit of the Loom, which I swear I can remember that one. We Are the Champions doesn't end with of the world. Remember the Energizer Bunny that strolled around beating his drum? He had a battery on his back, right? Nope, it is and always has been on his leg. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. The reason we have Mandela effects in the first place is because we're living in this alternate timeline where time's speeding up, and we occasionally get faint memories from our old timeline, which we all experience together. At the end of the day, we could just be getting older and perceiving every year that goes by as slightly quicker than the last. But I don't know, something just really feels off to me. Like the passing of time itself just got accelerated by magnitudes of what it used to be. These days are flying by at lightning speed, and I can't help but feel that maybe reality as we knew it will never be the same.
Solomon, when God said, what do you want? He said, I want wisdom. He says, I'm going to give you all the wisdom. And Solomon was the one that built the temple. Was he given, maybe not the technology, but the wisdom to create these mega structures, putting these giant blocks into place? Because, I mean, the Temple Mount, they have these huge stones.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think there's two ways to look at this. The secret societies that we see now, the Masons, the Illuminati, they are charged with carrying this sacred knowledge. Solomon himself strayed into the mystery school space. He was trying to acquire all of this knowledge. And at that point in time, the ideas of the mystery schools of Babylon were actually real things. An interesting concept here. Did he get some of that knowledge when he asked for wisdom? Yeah. Or did he acquire some of that knowledge through the mystery schools of Babylon? Because this is supposed to be, according to them, take it what it is, but they're supposed to hold secrets, pre-flood secrets that were passed down, because they ascribe their, quote, theology or their mantra stuff to what essentially lines up as either a Nephilim or a watcher angel. These are these people that had these ideas of construction.
964 sightings of SUV-sized drones have been recorded across New Jersey, some of which have even been over critical military infrastructure. This heat map shared with us by local police highlights the shocking true scale of the mysterious drone activity across the Garden State. The drones have caused widespread concern across the nation as the government fails to provide any concrete answers.
Oh, I made it. I've made it. That's the end of the show, people. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support if you're still here. I'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully. And yeah, have a good morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much. See you later.